Bridgesh Barrington.
I'm excited. Okay, let's get into this.
All right,
Okay.
my name is Mira Loren, and I'm here with
Nor Luloff and
Bridge Barrington. Bridge. All right.
okay, the game has started. Northwest starting on offense. Surya with the disc on the far sideline in their attacking half.
It's an unfortunate drop there for Northwest.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. All right, we have Calvin picking up for Roosevelt. Jack. DeMarcus under. It's a little too high. If you can see the windsock, there is a fair amount of wind. Northwest is going downwind right now, so that Roosevelt throw popped up.
Surya's looking deep. Too
far.
Teague.
Unfortunate luck. Great luck, though. Beautiful.
It's unfortunate, but it's also great and beautiful.
Can we order these by number?
All right, we
I don't
have
know
Calvin
how.
picking up again.
If you were tuned in to our last semifinal, which was Lincoln versus Cleveland, you noticed that the wind has had a super big impact on the field today. It's really windy right now. The wind is blowing pretty strongly from the right side of your screen to the left side of your screen, so the players are facing a pretty strong headwind right now, the Roosevelt players. And Northwest gets the disc back. That's
Number
Echo with
7,
the block.
Echo quarter. These teams have only faced each other once in an informal beginning of the season scrimmage where it was taken to Universe, and I think Roosevelt won, so they're really excited for this matchup. Roosevelt won?
Stan
Northwest won.
Really? Stan said.
I don't know.
I don't know. It was Universe. Someone won.
Bridge is usually right.
Oh, wait, no.
All right, we got Tanner Monahan with the disc. A very clean stack right now. It's looking like a handler dominator, but then they ISO number 13 off the front. That's Teague.
And another turn, the wind really picking up that disc and pushing it past Surya.
This is similar to the first point of the last game where it just like took forever because the wind. It takes a while to get adapted to these the settings here. Even though there's a lot of pressure from the stands and you got to get used to the wind. They don't get comfortable until like the second half. Trying to ISO Surya. It's into the end zone for a Northwest score. That's 1-0.
No, it's a hold.
That is a hold. Unfortunately, we got started a little late, but yes, that is a hold. Northwest is in white. Roosevelt is in dark, if you were wondering. Bridge, do you have any insights about either of these teams coming from somebody who has played them before?
Well, Roosevelt initiates from a host stack. They're looking for, I'd say, like 4 of their handlers to work it between them and then set a big huck down the field. That's most of their offense, and a lot of the time they'll drop it like while trying to get that going, and that's when you can really just take advantage. That's how we beat them.
Oh, okay.
13-6, by the way, I believe.
Just a little by the way.
Not close if you.
Yeah, okay.
Moving on. Quick shout out to the Worlds players on the Worlds trial. The players offered Worlds tryouts for Roosevelt. We got the graduated Manny Burson, absolute legend, and nobody on the current roster, but some really good GX players getting some opportunities. We got Sonia Snyder, Amelia Welsh, and Bridget Barnett. And then on Northwest, we'll see Surya in California, as well as Tanner Monahan. Good luck. And yes, it is interesting to hear that the U20 boys coach.
Yeah, the U20, Stan Birdsong coaches this Northwest team, and he's one of the assistant coaches for the next Team USA, U20 Team USA men's team.
As well as Reed Koss, also a coach of Northwest.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's like the main coach.
That's the big boss.
The head coach of the U20 boys team. Okay.
Just of A team.
All right, got Roosevelt in a hoe stack. Nice grab there by Calvin. Got Jack with big yards. He's out of bounds. Okay, not anymore. Nice swing. The cutters are a little bit deep. They're having some trouble getting them engaged with the disc. Jack Lawson staying patient. He rips it to Marcus. Wow. What a throw for a Roosevelt goal. It was a very perfectly placed forehand, don't you think?
I do. I do. It was lovely.
Yeah. Yeah. An interesting fact about the coaches of these teams again. Roosevelt coach Manny Eckert is roommates with Stan Birdsong. So there's not much scouting that either of these teams have to do. They know what they know what each other are doing. They could see inside their minds. So that's whether that's beneficial or not, I don't know. And also, Manny Eckert 3 years ago coached Northwest School when Northwest's star players Tanner Monahan and Surya Sethi were freshmen. So he's got a bit too much intel.
Yeah, he was talking to us before the game about how he's been preparing his D-line to take on some of those matchups. I think when you're trying to shut down a team that really likes to run through specific players, it can be really helpful to start preparing early. And sorry, we're readjusting in the booth. And teach your players exactly what those matchups are going to take and figure out how to stop them.
Yeah, the D goal that Manny Eckert shared was that they want to stick to their game plans. They said they have a what did they say? He had some very specific wording. Personnel-focused defense. He just means shut down Surya and Tanner, but a little more eloquently worded. Okay, Roosevelt's coming down in the zone. There we go. Now they're into person. It's actually more poachy, according to Bridge. Surrey with the disc. Little switch there for Jack. Nice grab through the... Ooh! The backhand goes up for number 11. It's a little bit too far.
Yeah, that's what you're going to see from Northwest. They're looking to initiate and start and end with Surya and Tanner. So if you really look to shut them down, you can destroy them pretty easily.
I do think that not just the Roosevelt coaches, but there's also throughout the whole league, I think we're not seeing some of the Northwest depth. I've been to a couple games. There's more to them than you would think.
Yeah, I think when you're playing in you're Roosevelt and you're playing in this SPS league that generally tends to be pretty dominant over some of the private schools, I think it can be a bit harder to really know exactly what to expect when you're going to play some of these teams that you overlap with less during the regular season. Versus like Cleveland and Lincoln. I guess they've only met once, but in a more formal setting.
Ooh, nice grab there for Calvin. I like the Calvin and Teague matchup. I think Calvin's somebody that's going to be getting a lot the disc a lot, and I think Teague is somebody that plays really good defense in tight spaces, like handler defense.
Marcus threw to
Whoa!
Jack.
Backhand bomb. It's honestly misread by both players. Sorry, it's going to be picking up. Got Tanner under. Teague on the sideline.
Oh, great grab by Surya.
Like a very acrobatic, like a ninja. Into the middle. It's a little bit high, but Teague's there. Looking for Brendan on the side. Looking deep for Tanner. It's a little bit too far. Again, downwind, you got to calibrate your throws.
Yeah, I'd say no matter how this point goes, even if Northwest scores, this is still a win for Roosevelt. They're really just making their O-line work, and in the long term, that's really just going to kill them.
Yeah, Northwest has a pretty small roster, so I think the longer that Roosevelt can keep them running, it's just beneficial for them. All right, the disc is way floaty. There's some contact, but there's no call. It's going to be Northwest disc. Surya picking up. Their stack's a little deep. They're isoing Tanner off the front. Ooh, unfortunate drop there. Marcus picks it up right away. A big forehand. Surya's in there. Good D. There's definitely some contacts, but no call. I think it's important to note that like not all contact is a foul, and I think that was a good.
And teams have to agree on how much contact they want to initiate.
Yeah. Can equally be as physical as you like. It's just it's a game per game basis. Good effort there by the defense. Tanner looking for the Northwest player, and that is a score. That's number 11, Lucas Ng. Thank you, Roosevelt, for including fun facts. We'll get to those later.
Yeah. I see some great ones. I'm pretty excited.
Wow. We're going to have to come back to this. 'Cause we're a little too focused right now for all these, but.
Okay, back to the Frisbee.
Back to the Frisbee.
I feel like, going back to what Bridge was saying, these points are going to be really long because of the wind. It takes, even when you're going downwind, it can take a lot of time to be able to actually convert or get that hold or convert on the break because you're fighting the elements.
I will say it was a tough battle for Roosevelt to get here. There was a really close game that they had with Franklin. So, they put up a really good fight, and just want to shout out my boys at Franklin.
Yeah, do you know about Northwest's path to getting here, who they played in quarters?
EPS, is that true?
EPS?
East Side Preparatory School. According to Bridge, it was not close, and I believe him.
I believe him too. The EPS days are unfortunately over. Well, maybe not unfortunately. Depends on how you feel.
They did have a reign of terror for a while, but
yeah,
I think
they
we're
did.
done.
I think so too.
Unfortunately, to Teus's demise.
Okay, the game Northwest versus EPS was 13-6. So yeah, not very close.
All right. Calvin picking up. Playing pretty poachy and then reeling in on the defense. They have a side stack play. Oh, nice D there by Wyatt. Jinx. Yeah, Wyatt's somebody who's really going to throw his body around and put it all on the line. I respect that.
He really wanted Surya to throw that under. But Surya finds a different look.
How did he...
I
don't know about that
I don't
one.
know what happened there, but Surya has the disc. It looks
Yeah.
like they've transitioned into a bit more of an end zone.
Yeah,
They're
it's a
now
little bit
initiating.
like a handler. Oh my god, I just cut you off. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
Handler dominator, just one cut off the front and looking to get those resets early.
Surya's staying in this handler set. I don't think he is going to clear out anytime soon. Great grab from Surya.
Holy moly. And he shoots it to the back of the end zone. It bounces off the player's hands.
Looking to find Duncan, but it just came in a little too hot.
Duncan is one of those players that, nope, wrong team. Sorry, never mind.
Calvin unleashes a huge flick huck to Jack, who I think is usually, is that Jack?
Yeah, that was a really great read.
He's usually on the other side of the disc, but
Yeah, you don't see him going deep off, and it's pretty exciting.
making a great run. I wonder, that's a pretty
Stall?
quick stall. I was surprised to see that throw go up. I think the stall might have been a bit
If I
far
was
ahead of my mental 10-second clock.
If I was Jack Lesson, I would have called fast count instead of throwing the turn.
That was probably like six stalls.
One more time.
That was probably like 6 stalls.
That was probably like 6 stalls. All right, it's coming in on the sideline. It's Northwest ball. Uncontested. That's
Surya's really going to hold the disc for a long time. He's looking to do a lot by himself.
Yeah, like the Northwest game plan when they're on O is to kind of let Surya do whatever he wants. So they're just going to get the ball back to him, and he's going to make the decision and run the field how he wants to. A little bit of Surya glaze going on behind me from Bridge. Wyatt shoots deep. It's a little bit too low. Good effort, good effort.
Very unfortunate.
I think that was August looking deep to Wyatt.
Oh, yeah. Huge forehand from Calvin. Wow, and it's right into Marcus's hands. Is that his second goal of the game already? I think so.
Yeah.
That
That was
is-
Calvin's second pretty much perfect flick hook on that point alone.
Yeah, he's really got him dialed in tonight.
I think that Roosevelt's doing a much better job calibrating to the wind right now.
Yeah.
And I think when we saw Northwest on their last downwind O point, I think they were having a really hard time adjusting, and a lot of their throws were getting pushed down, and Roosevelt's doing a good job putting that extra height onto their throws so that their receivers have time to get to the disc.
I think sometimes teams are resistant to just putting the downwind hook up because they want to play the game that they're used to rather than playing based on the wind. But I think it would be smart if Northwest just sent somebody deep and like send Tanner deep and Surya can throw it, or send Teague deep, and I think that they can be successful. It's just like because of the conditions, it's just whoever adapts better. And I think you have to be willing to abandon what you've sort of abandon the systems you worked on all season and be able to adapt to the wind.
Yeah. We were asking Stan, who we already said that, who coaches Northwest, about their mentality going to the game, and he talked about acknowledging the wind and adjusting accordingly, both on offense and on defense. On offense, like making sure they don't throw any short field turns, always looking to stretch the field deep, play that field position game, and on defense, kind of the opposite, forcing Roosevelt to throw those short field turns, which Roosevelt hasn't been really interested in doing.
Wind is not doing Roosevelt any favors at the moment. They're in a hoe stack. Surya is picking up. ISOing under. Echo to Tanner. Is that Owen?
Yeah.
Owen Mertz heckle. Give it back to Surya. I mean, are they right? Yeah. Just the truth. No heckling here.
Owen Mart's also just a very talented young player.
Say that one more time.
Owen Mart's also a very young, talented player.
It's true. Let's give him the credit he deserves. There is a call on the throw.
Was this stall? Did you see the hand signal? Did you see the
Solomon,
hand
Solomon.
signal? Stall.
Salmon.
For some reason, I thought he was calling a foul, and I got really
think he was just-
confused.
He looks like he was clapping. I don't know what that one means, but I don't think that's one of the signals in the book yet. You ever read the rules handbook?
I haven't, but I'm coached by Jude Loren, so I feel like I pretty much know it front and back.
Yeah, as a team at Lincoln, we went over the rules, and you can actually call a fast count or a foul or violation if they say stall instead of stalling when initiating the stall call. So just fun fact for you guys.
Fun fact.
My favorite rule that I used recently was, actually I didn't get to call it, but I was on the sideline, watching a game, and I watched a player on the other team spin the disc in their hands, and I was like, I didn't actually shout it, but I turned to my teammate and I was like, that's a turn, we gotta call it.
It is a turn. No spinning. I don't know why this discussion is taking so long. Someday in the future, we'll become so high tech that the observers have mics, but we're not quite there yet.
What? This Northwest has the technology.
Let's see it in progress. Let's see it happen.
We're ready. You can hear some fire conversations. If anyone's watching the mixed final at Club Nationals, it's a pretty fire conversation between a player and an observer.
Ooh.
And a great layout D from a Roosevelt player who didn't wear a jersey and doesn't have a number, so we can't shout him out, but great D.
Good work. Solomon with the disc. Big backhand. I think it's floating more than it meant to, but they come down with it.
Calvin gets it back. It looks like they're trying to get into their end zone.
It's a little too high. Brendan makes sure that the Roosevelt player
Brendan
doesn't get
picking
that.
up, looking deep to Surya.
That's a huge put, and it's just right into his hands.
It's a beautiful throw.
That's exactly the play you're going to see from Surya. Just so innovative.
All right,
Okay,
all
okay.
right,
I feel
all
like
right.
we gotta appreciate the throw on that one.
Yeah, actually, let's give it to Brendan. It's very exciting for Northwest to have him back. He was injured for most of the season, but he's really gonna be impactful like that.
You're going to see that.
Yeah, Brendan and Duncan. Oh, sorry, Bridge. I didn't realize you were talking.
They're just going to
Oh, I was just saying that Brendan and Duncan are both coming back from injuries. And we were talking to Stan here saying that was going to really have a big impact, and you can see it right there.
Yeah.
It's
I'd say the biggest impact is Surya.
oh, all right. What I was gonna say, it's good to have another handler back onto the roster so that they can allow Surya to cut sometimes, because he's gonna make plays like that. Like, he can't always be the one with the disc. Now we got Brendan to throw big stuff like that. Let's see. Let's run a fun fact real quick. Should we randomize or should we choose one?
I feel like we all know which one we have to talk about.
You want to say this more, Bridge? Wait, who's this? Solomon?
Solomon, his fun fact is he has the 6-7 emote. If you guys do want that emote, there is screenshots you can look up on Google, or just hit me up. My name is Bridge Barrington on Instagram. I'll send you the QR code.
Cool. Is this for Clash? What is this for?
Yeah, it's for Clash Royale.
Okay, cool.
It's a popular game. It's free.
Popular game, Clash Royale, for free. If you want
I can't
6-7
take this
emote,
seriously.
talk to Bridge. Anyways, let's get back to the
Let's
Frisbee.
get back to the Frisbee. Tanner on the pole for Northwest.
We saw him warming up his pulls before the game. It definitely takes a lot of focus to be a puller in a win like this. A little bit of a roller. Calvin picking up. Side stack again. Marcus deep. Calvin puts it.
Tanner looking to help here.
Oh, just a little bit too floaty. It goes out the back.
I really like that Roosevelt is bought in on this field position game. I think it's been really advantageous for them so far.
Yeah, but it is a double-edged sword when it comes to positioning, in the sense that Northwest has been looking to help off and poach in every single one of these deep hucks.
Yeah, at a certain point, it's obvious what the game plan is, and you can pull off a couple players off the back of the stack.
Especially with how good Northwest coaching is.
Yeah. Northwest coaching is very intelligent and very tapped into what's going on with the other teams. Reed Koss, the king of scouting, knows what's going on in just about every high school.
Yeah.
Stan Birdsong's my goat.
It's smart, but it's very dangerous.
All right, that's a turn. Calvin picking up. Fakes the hammer a little bit into the middle now. Jack with the disc.
Roosevelt's cutter's not really activating.
High release. That was pretty nasty.
They look a little bit stagnant right now. I think if they can get into a vertical stack, they're a little bit far away from the end zone, but they need some more movement.
Marcus up line. Yeah, their stack is nowhere to be seen. Good
Great
D
D
there
by
Surya.
Surya.
Really just everywhere on the field.
How long do you have if the disc goes out to bring it up and tap it in?
20 seconds if it lands out of bounds, and you have 10 seconds if it's in bounds.
Interesting.
The observer count will pre-stall for you, so you don't need to pre-stall. Because I remember pre-stalling one time in an observed game, and then I felt so stupid.
Yeah, that was kind of a dot. And then
Tanner sends it into the end zone, and Wyatt collects on the second attempt a Northwest break. They go up 4-2.
That's that teamwork we're talking about. The little tip to Wyatt. That should be stats for both of them.
Northwest is hyped.
Northwest is hyped. We heard from Coach Stan Birdsong that Wyatt Court has been the emotional centerpiece of the team, and he's really stepped up as leader. You could see that off that celly. He's just a really hype guy.
I love a good Selly.
Sorry, quick taco time discussion. We're back now. I'm really excited to see Marcus Kwan playing a really big role on this Roosevelt team. I think in the past he's kind of been overshadowed by some of the star players, but I think that he's super fundamental and like a super strong athlete. I think he's making all the right decisions with the disc, and that Tanner and Marcus matchup is really interesting. I think they're both super athletic, and that's a fun one to watch.
this line for Roosevelt's very important as they're going upwind for a D line, and this could really change the game, especially because it's 4-2. Putting them in a 5-2 situation could be really bad.
Could be very bad.
They're very downwind as someone who just played on this field.
It is good to have somebody in the booth who knows about what's going on down there. It's touch the turf, you know. Jack Lawson to pick up. Good hustle from T getting down there. Close on the D there for Roosevelt. Oh, and it's a little bit of a drop there. Pretty close to Northwest end zone. Let's see what they can do with this.
This could be really important.
This could be really important. It's interesting to see Brendan set up so far back. I wonder if this is for any specific reason. High release.
Oh.
It's hard to throw a high release downwind because the wind's just going to push the top of the disc down. Shoots, and it's collected. Marcus with the disc. We're working on the name for green shirt. We'll get there.
Oh, unfortunate drop.
Unfortunate drop.
Brendan picking up, looking to shoot immediately, but
I don't think that's the edge on the
Marcus
disc he
gets-
meant to get. A little more inside out, I think, is what he's hoping for. We've got Solomon. I think both these teams, the energy coming off this field is very frantic. I think neither of them are really running their systems. As you can see, all the cutters are incredibly deep for Roosevelt. I think they just need to take a breath and bring it back to where they want to be. Jack Lawson.
Roosevelt's stack is really bad right now. They had 2 handlers back and 5 people cutting, and a couple of them were blocking the deep area.
yeah, I wondered earlier if they were running a dominator, but they're all, like, you saw Marcus motion for the cutters to come in. I think they're having a really hard time finding the right ways to connect with these cutters.
It's a
but
really great
Solomon
look to the end
sending it.
zone. Wow.
Green shirt
Green
collects.
shirt once again. Green shirt's the target for this game. I really like that look for Solomon.
That's Blake.
That's obviously Blake. Everyone knows this.
Green shirt is Blake.
Blake Hadland.
Shout out Blake Hadland being there for a lot of those deep looks, and another great showing of Solomon's handler work.
Getting that upwind hold after you get broken upwind is super critical.
Yeah.
And I honestly think it can be an advantage. Not necessarily an advantage, but if the other team has to fight super hard to get an upwind break, you get that upwind hold and then you just break them back downwind,
Mm-hmm.
and you have like 10 times of an easier job converting.
Mm-hmm.
You honestly, like, they broke you first, but I think you kind of usually come out on top if you can be quick about that score.
Right.
I already did this, but shout out Owen Mertz.
Aw,
Wonderful player.
that is too cute. Let's see. Perhaps another fun fact for Roosevelt.
Fun fact for Roosevelt. For all of their positions, they put basketball positions. Like
Yeah.
Power forward, shooting guard, small forward. So that's a little quirk.
It's pretty quirky. I'm guessing that like a lot of these people don't know what any of this means. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think this was somebody else's doing.
They're
But-
a little funny.
They're just a little funny over there.
Big team.
Can take a joke. All right. Calvin pulling. Calvin's a name you're going to hear a lot for Roosevelt. He's their center handler. I think one thing I really appreciate about him is his patience with the disc. I think that players that play a very patient and systematic handler role usually don't get the hype, but that's really what is moving Roosevelt along.
Okay, Miro. Miro.
I just love handlers. I wonder why. Yeah, there's a zone here. It's a little bit double teamy, but once again, if they don't call it, then
I
then
really
what's to be
like
done.
coming out in zone for Roosevelt.
Was that
of
was that Marcus?
Because of that.
Almost into the end zone. Whoa, nice
he got
travel there by Solomon.
Got bumped by some Northwest players coming through, but
It's a nice little inside there. Ooh, good effort by Surya. Still not in. Losing their stack integrity. That's a handoff. That's a
that was
handoff.
not in.
That was multiple things at once. Not in
It
and
was
also a handoff.
both his feet were definitely on the line. But the observer did call it in, so it's just whether it was a handoff.
Only we had instant replay.
Is a handoff a turn or it just goes,
Goes
back?
back.
It goes back. Okay.
It's a
Okay.
goal.
Well,
Well, okay.
I gotta say, I actually think I have a really good. No, genuinely, I think I have a really good view of the line versus the observer's blocked by like the 5 players in between him, and pretty sure he wasn't in. But alas, Roosevelt convert on the break, and we're back on serve.
4-4. Very interesting. I'm really loving the passion from the stands. Shout out all the Frisbee fans here. Let's see, what more information do we collect before the game?
We talked about that. Oh, Roosevelt at the start of the season came up with 3 words: fun, respect, and winning. Which, I mean, I think that's, personally, I'm a big fan. I think those
Of all
are,
those things?
I'm a big fan of all 3 of those things. I think they're 3 pretty important keys to any team.
Scoreboard. Who yelled scoreboard? It's tied. That's
Well,
good.
I don't know. Is the scoreboard updated?
Oh, I see what we're saying. I thought. Yeah, I think if you don't have a team mentality meeting before the season, I think you're in for a rough ride. You know?
I love a good team mentality meeting. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I think that like setting your goals as a team is really important. I think individually you can have your own goals, but it's necessary that you can all come together and figure out the vibe for the season. I think that you're going to be a lot more successful if everyone's on the same page.
We centered up to Surya, believe it or not. Brendan now at the disc, looking downfield. But again, I feel like
They had an ISO play that came together a little late. Tanner with the disc.
Again, Roosevelt looking really poachy, taking advantage of the depth that Roosevelt has that I would say Northwest kind of lacks.
Right.
Brendan looking deep.
For Rory.
I thought that throw looked pretty great. I feel like there was a bit of hesitation from the cut.
Yeah.
It's hard to read.
It was coming in at a sharper angle, and I don't think Rory was prepared for that. But I do like those shots, and I think they should keep taking them. Calvin picking up. I don't understand the stack here.
Wait, how is it coming in at the... Okay. Okay. That makes more sense to me.
Oh, good effort there. It's too far for Solomon.
Tanner picks it up. Off the hands of Echo.
Marcus wants it deep.
He's immediately on the mark.
They all want it deep. Shooting into the wind. Surya's there.
Surya just all over this game.
Most of the things that Bridge is saying about Surya, I'm not going to be repeating because I just... DTM. Teague uncovered. The throw's a little high, though. Calvin picks it up. Ooh.
Off of Solomon's hands, and Surya will be picking up.
Similar to what I was saying about the last point is that both these teams are playing incredibly energetically, and it's not really benefiting them. I think that none of them are falling back on their systems, and they're just trying to get things done as fast as possible.
These Northwest O points are taking a long time.
That's a really nice throw, but it drops again.
He might have landed on his knee. I can't tell.
Yeah, some trouble getting up there for Rory. He's going to take an injury sub. Northwest player subbing in. I think that Roosevelt is still not respecting Northwest deep game. They had let Rory go deep twice, and I think they have to start picking up on that soon.
Yeah, I do think if you're Roosevelt right now, you've got to feel pretty good about your chances of getting the disc back when Northwest looks deep. I feel like if I'm coaching, I really just want to make that throw as hard as possible so it's not necessarily as successful, because Roosevelt keeps having to start with the full 70. I think if they maybe try and flatten out their marks a bit, they'll make it, they might give themselves a bit of an easier job when they get the disc back.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would like to talk about what Mira said about throwing deep. I would say that Northwest, for me personally, I haven't seen that they've earned the respect of shooting deep,
Wow.
as a lot of them have been really just too far and have been turns that Roosevelt has been taking advantage of, even though they're not necessarily getting Ds.
Yeah.
Understand that. I understand that statement fully.
Well, over the course of that conversation, we ended up exactly where we were with Calvin picking up in the corner and now Northwest getting the turn back. Sorry with that high release again, but Calvin
Calvin's
comes through with the
there.
D.
Oh my god.
I think that might have been out.
Oh,
yeah.
is he okay?
Playing hot potato with the face.
They are playing hot potato. I can't keep saying this, but they gotta slow it down. It's just not working for them.
The parents very energetic on the sideline.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah. We love to see it. We love some hyped up Frisbee fans.
I like that Solomon has been adapting his mark. He knows that Surya likes that high release, and he's sticking his hands up a little higher now.
Okay. I really thought that was going to go up.
Good save there by Calvin. Alex Kusamoto hitting Calvin up line. Big inside backhand. Is that going to stay in bounds? No. That's the problem with trying to shoot same third on a windy day like this. Like, you're just going to need more room for error because of the wind.
The wind is going to push it around. And also the wind up in the air, up like higher in the air, is probably going to be a lot different.
Yeah.
Like it looks like the crosswind on the field is more going like away from to the far side, but I think it's different higher because we saw that disc get pushed towards us.
This is a much different game than the Lincoln-Cleveland game.
Yeah, it seems like Northwest isn't really trusting in their offense in the sense that whenever they've been getting it near their own end zone, they've just been hucking it immediately and kind of just assuming that either they're either going to get a D really close to the other end zone, or they're just going to get a score.
Looks like there's a call. I think Calvin's saying that he had stopped rotation before. I think was that Duncan who came in with the D.
I think so.
I can see both sides. I honestly don't think I had a very good perspective. Yeah, I think we're seeing from, like Bridge was saying, I think we're seeing from Northwest exactly what Stan was talking about as their offensive and defensive goals. Their O goal being not throwing any short field turns, and their D goal being forcing short field turns. On this like possession, we've seen like 3 Roosevelt short field turns and no short field turns from Northwest. So you got to feel pretty good about that goal. But
Nice
you still have to be
grab.
able to convert and actually get the point.
Is this a
Nice
hold or a
move
break?
by Tanner to get open up
I
line.
don't remember. This would be a hold for Northwest. Staying patient in the red zone. Not a lot of options.
Brendan giving an option.
Shifty.
Brendan
Swinging.
to Surya goes up line. Surya over the top hammer. I think that's out.
Oh, is that out?
It's that weird line.
Yeah, the line is not where you think it is, and it's been messing players up all day.
There's a faint orange line going, or yellow, whatever, going through the letters. That's the back of the field.
Oh,
But another short field turn from Roosevelt, and Northwest gets a good look at the end zone, and they convert. It's a very, very long point, but Northwest holds.
I feel bad for Calvin on that one. When you turn it short field, you just have to be prepared to play defense and get it back, and I don't think he was. I think it's hard not to get stuck on your own mistakes, but one thing I think Stan was saying it's really important to have in mind as a player on a day like this is that there are good turns and there are bad turns, and you have to be okay with turning it deep and turning it in ways that benefit your team. And if you have a bad turn or a short field turn, you just have to work hard to get it back. Like, there's going to be so many more turns on a day like this that you have to be prepared to adapt to that and accept that if you're somebody that doesn't throw a lot of turns, you might be throwing turns today, and that's just how it's going to shake out. But you have to be prepared to adapt to that mentally. I think I've said adapt about 100 times this stream.
Yeah, I think Stan's great at. He's a great coach in general, but specifically at like coaching a team into a mindset that's gonna set them up to be successful. He has coached me at YCC the past 2 years, and I usually play on O, and he usually coaches the O line, and I think like even when we get broken or if we're having a hard time finding consistency, he is very well spoken and he does a really good job telling his team what they need so that they can go out there in the right mindset and be successful.
Yeah, I think that strategy is going to really work in these long points, especially if you just keep on hucking it and forcing the other team to work it up the field. It's really just, you're going to see that in the long run, especially out of a team from Northwest and like Roosevelt, who kind of do have that depth. It is really important to, like, I want to say, like, slow down or, like, kind of force them to run through a tired already, like, run-down team, like, top end.
We're seeing some new faces in for Northwest. They're taking some of their star players out, giving them a break. They're going to throw in more of a zone line. Looks like it's yeah. They have a cup forcing the sideline closest to us. It's going to be a righty backhand. Nice little travel there. Travel again. It's a little too high. The teammate backs us up. Got Calvin with the disc. Huge hammer. All day people have been trying those hammers, but it's just not the right conditions for that.
Yeah, if I was Northwest coaching, that's the exact throw that I want. We really want, because of the wind, you really want to force these high throws that are just going to get sent by the wind, especially when the other team is going upwind. So I'd say that that's a really good win for Northwest.
All right. Northwest sitting up in a hoe stack. Yeah, it is much shorter under than Roosevelt's. And if you're going upwind, you can't really set up a hoe stack how you regularly would because you're just not able to gain as many yards into the wind. Most throwers aren't able to gain as many yards into the wind, let me say that. That's a big hug. That's real nice upwind. Jack is there. He doesn't get it.
Oh!
Number 29 brings it down. That's Leo Senstra.
Yeah, this could be a really big win for Northwest, especially because they don't have their top end. If they get this break and then they're downwind for a D-line, that could be really important for Northwest.
Wyatt tries to throw that break side up line, but it just hits the turf. Calvin picking up.
The cup is back. He shoots it right away. That's a pretty nice look. Wow. Is that like...
That's a great grab and a great throw.
That was like an 80-yard throw.
Yeah, I think he picked it up at the front of the end zone and threw it like 10 yards. Yeah, like 80 yards.
Wow. My jaw is dropped.
Way to... I want to shout out that Roosevelt cutter for staying with the disc. I think it can be, in the wind, it can be really easy to give up on the disc, but you honestly just never know how much time you're gonna have.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot about throwing in the wind, but it's also really hard to be a cutter in the wind. When those throws pop up and the wind takes it in unexpected ways, it's much harder to read it. Got the Northwest O-line going in. Northwest O-line is basically the same as the Northwest D-line, so I don't really know why I said that.
Yeah, but Northwest has got their star players back out there. I think if you're Northwest, I know like it would have been really awesome to convert that break without Surya and Tanner, but I gotta say I feel like you still have to feel like it's a win. You made Roosevelt work for a long time. You made them play defense all the way up the field, and then they had to like sprint a full 70 to score.
Yeah, that's like I think with a thrower like Calvin, there's not much you can do to control that, but they did what they were supposed to do otherwise.
Yeah, adding on to that, they really just showed how their zone can. They really showed how their zone can really get Ds. So Roosevelt now has to really respect their zone and not just throw hammers over the top.
We also have some new faces in for Roosevelt. Freshman Jonah, is that right?
Yes.
Exciting, very exciting. Yeah, they definitely have more underclassmen on Roosevelt than we saw. There was only one freshman in the Lincoln-Cleveland game. There's a couple on Roosevelt. Doesn't look like they have any on Northwest, though. It's good to see some younger players getting a chance to strut their stuff.
Yeah, I think Roosevelt is fed into by some... Wait, let's wait.
Let's wait. Oh my God, that was actually a snake in the grass play, like genuinely.
What a play from Tanner to take the defender out of the situation, knowing that his other player was behind him.
Yeah, he definitely knew. He definitely knew.
He definitely knew. Great hustle from Rory to make that happen. I feel like he wasn't the intended receiver, but maybe he was. You never know. This coaching staff. They can cook up anything.
Yeah, this Surya guy, he is very.
Oh my God.
You have to watch every single player. He can really just get it to anybody.
Okay.
I wish that I could disagree with that, but it's true. What were you saying, Nor? You're saying something, and then the throw went up.
Roosevelt is fed into by some really
Yeah.
strong middle school programs, both Roosevelt and Lincoln. I was pretty surprised. I don't know if you have any comments on this, Bridge. I was pretty surprised not to see more freshmen on the Lincoln roster, just because I usually think of one of Lincoln's strengths being like consistently having a really strong, like core of younger players that they're building up.
Yeah, that does have a lot to do with the HCC. It's been like stopped, so a lot of schools are feeding into Roosevelt more than Lincoln, and we can really see it based on the fact that we got like 40 freshmen try out 2 years ago, and I think we only had like around 20, which is still a lot, but it definitely is affecting Roosevelt, and you can see it by so many good freshmen on this team. Really, just a good future, I would say.
Is that Hamilton that feeds into Roosevelt now, or James?
It's interesting to see the switch in power dynamics. Like back in the day, you know, when I first started commentating, it was all South End because Aki had huge programs, Mercer had huge programs, and so they were the most powerful teams in the league because they were getting the most middle school talent. And now that's switched to the North End. The middle schools are much stronger over there, and you know, Lincoln's set up to be in the finals, and we've got Roosevelt North End team over here too. So it's really interesting to have seen that switch. Jack Lawson, big hammer. Wow.
That was really cool.
That was way too chill.
Yeah, I was very lucky, but I would like to shout out a lot of these Northwest people that are guarding Roosevelt star players, especially if they can get a turn from them. And we have like Surya or Tanner on like a mismatch. It can really help out the team offensively. And if they can just get that D, it's really important.
We're taking Bridge off mic.
He's doing a great job.
I didn't intend to glaze.
Unintentional Surya glaze, yeah, right. No, that was a really nice hammer. Yes, it was.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. I feel like if you get to throw that and it works, it's so demoralizing to Northwest. That's like a huge mental win.
Yeah.
If you're Roosevelt,
I haven't accepted the fact that hammers are like
useful.
a respectable or useful throw. So like if I get scored on by a hammer, it's like should I retire because that was embarrassing.
Sneak peek to Garfield Girl strategy. We're all only throwing hammers next season. That's the new plan.
Nor throws hammer to Nor. I'm heard is what's going to happen next season.
Yeah, I got you.
Who's pulling? Where's the disc? Oh. Sneaky. No, half is at 8. Oh, yeah, a little clarification. This is a 100-minute game. Nope. 110-minute game. 2:15 or time. There's a timed half if they don't make it to 8, but we will probably be making it to 8 before that comes into play. Brendan.
These points are actually moving a bit faster than the last game, even though it honestly hasn't really.
Ooh, Solomon with the handball. Oh.
Couldn't get the catch, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh, there's Solomon's taking an injury. The throw already went up, though. I don't know how that affects anything, though.
I think they should get the disc back because he got injured. The disc should go back to when the injury happened, not when the injury was called. So he got injured after the turn. So Northwest is going to get the disc back, and maybe they can rethink that look.
I hope Solomon's all right. I really respect that hand block. I think it's becoming obvious that the Northwest plays that they're going to get to Surya, and he wants to huck it. So he knew exactly where to put his hand for that forehand huck.
Really smart. It's so dangerous.
It's very smart. It can also be very dangerous. All right, disc is going back to Northwest, like we said. Surya's picking up. We'll see if they try and run a huck play again.
And you can see a handler poach from the B handler.
Handler poach from the B handler if you didn't catch that. Teague. Good grab by Tanner.
Oh, I thought he was calling a foul on the throw, but oh, Northwest has the disc. That's why. Pillar was my way.
Swinging to Brendan. Some good cutter defense there by Roosevelt.
That was I know he didn't get it, but that was a great play. If he had caught that, his toe barely landed in. Really athletic attempt at the disc, but Calvin's going to have it on the near sideline. Swinging to another Roosevelt player. And Surrey's going to pick it up in. Where do we think he's going to throw it?
Where do I think Surrey's going to throw it? I'm not answering that. Boom! To Tanner into the end zone.
Oh my God!
I'm so sorry about our reaction. I love flips. I didn't know he could do that.
That was my favorite part of the game. So
We can just call it now.
Northwest wins.
stream.
Northwest wins.
Oh, God, I wish I could do a flip. Anyways,
One day, Mira.
that was a really great throw and a really great flip. Some special shout-outs for some Roosevelt players that Coach Manny Eckert gave. Big shout-out to Jack Dre, number 14. He's a freshman who's really stepped up. And they have a bunch of injured people. They got Gabe, Oscar, Noah, and Zach, who unfortunately couldn't play today but have put in the work all season to be here.
I coached Jack in a Dis Northwest camp, and he did really well at the tournament, and we lost, and I think we got second.
If you didn't hear that, Bridge coached Jack at Dis Northwest, so he's been there for the journey. And breaking news, I coached Bridge at Dis Northwest camp when he was in middle school.
There's always a bigger fish.
And it's always me, and I'm always the biggest fish. It's just the way life goes.
I wanted to bring up, I might be wrong, but I think last year Northwest was here in the state semis playing Cleveland, and I'm pretty sure Surrey was out with an injury. It was a pretty, I want to say it was a relatively close game. It might not have, I don't think it was I think it was within 4 or 5, which isn't that close. But Surrey being here is definitely having a big impact on Northwest's ability to really compete.
Coming down in a cup look. Nice travel by Jack.
He's really good at that.
I wasn't even trying to hate. If you can sneak a travel in like that, I'm going to respect it. Well, somebody
Whoa,
just
he did it
anyone
again.
see
He's
that?
so good at it.
Marcus back to Jack. Some really good handler movement going on right now. Yeah, look for the hammer. Yeah, throw the hammer. Is that Alex disc? Yeah, Alex to Calvin. The Northwest Cup didn't do, I think, anything they intended to do on that point. It's not the greatest way to phrase that, but I think that Roosevelt saw the holes and the opportunities and just ran with the disc, and I don't think that the Northwest Cup was prepared to keep up with the quick handler movement.
Yeah, this is a really important point. If Northwest holds here and then holds for the rest of the game, they automatically win. So Roosevelt very much needs a break, especially due to the fact that they're coming out in D, and that's just a very powerful, it's a really good way to end off a half and just coast into the second half of the game.
Yeah, if Roosevelt gets this break, they start the next half on offense.
Very intelligent take.
So they kind of get 2 breaks if they can get that hold after.
I want to talk about the Roosevelt motto. The brook would lose its song if we removed the rocks. How does that make you feel, Nor?
Empowered.
It's kind of
Believed
tranquil
in.
and beautiful and empowering.
Would lose its
Don't
song.
whisper it. I'm cutting you off. I didn't like that one bit. I'm going to keep that with me, I think.
I can say it again if you...
No, it's all right. Calvin pulling, of course.
I think that really goes to how deep of a team they are, because if they lose any of their players or rocks, then they would lose the song to their team.
I don't think that's not what I took from it, but I really like that
You know,
interpretation.
I think that there's so many ways you can interpret it, and that's what's beautiful about a motto. Brendan with the disc. Got Surya under. Teague is going. He's a little bit far. Hitting Echo. I think somebody got hit in the face downfield. Oh no.
This could be really bad.
Taking an injury or calling a foul, I don't know.
Taking an injury, according to what the observers said.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Okay.
Injury sub for Roosevelt.
Is that Alex taking a sub?
Alex, yes. Goodbye, Alex.
Bye-bye. Get well soon.
I think he's all right. I think he got, like, elbowed in the face. Ugh.
Very scary.
Very scary.
And Roosevelt chooses to put in Osman. What's his name?
Thank you for so much good intel coming from Bridge. Ospen, no, I'm being serious. Ospen subs in.
Who's that with the disc?
That's Echo.
Oh, okay, okay.
Northwest choosing not to sub in any player, just showing how they trust all their players.
Yeah, if you didn't know, if one team takes an injury, oh, unfortunate drop for Teague. Yeah, if one team takes an injury, the other team can take one as well. Calvin shoots right away. I think he could have waited a second longer on that one.
Calvin felt bad for the guy who dropped it, so he decided to give the disc back.
I like that.
That is so thoughtful.
I like that Roosevelt always has someone going deep off the turn, but I'm kind of surprised. I know it worked earlier, but I'm kind of surprised that it's Jack. I feel like this Roosevelt team has really had to work through their handler core.
I think that Calvin's positioning on that throw made Tanner come under a little bit more, and it was a little bit of a misread. Try to battle him in the air, and I don't think that was quite necessary, yeah. Oh, pressure there by Teague. Marcus. Again, the cutters are super deep for Roosevelt. I don't know if that's intentional or what. Swinging to Calvin. Marcus up line.
It's a little
you
too
can really
quick.
see Roosevelt's offensive scheme where Marcus looked at Calvin for like 4 seconds there, showing how he's only looking for him.
Brendan looking around to Duncan.
Oh.
I don't know if, I think he might have honestly had a better shot at that if he hadn't left his feet.
That's a little far for Marcus.
Roosevelt's really trying. Roosevelt's like quick handler movement isn't working super well right now. They aren't doing a great job connecting.
Beautiful up line. Tanner, we calling that in?
No.
No. Back to Tanner. See if he gets it to Surya again. That's Brendan's turn. Really great handler defense there by Marcus. That was quite tough. Swing, it's a little high. Oh, great D there by Calvin.
What's up?
An injury? Teague injury?
Teague.
I think he's all right.
Great respect from Calvin.
It
Is there
looks
a
like
call?
it looks like Calvin's calling, or Teague is calling a foul. I don't know about that one.
I can definitely understand the foul based on the fact that it kind of seems like Calvin got in his jumping airspace and kind of stopped him from being able to jump, even though I don't think it was very catchable.
Yeah, we talked about this on the last stream, that you are able to call a foul if you think that the vertical space above you is compromised. You should have access, okay, to the exact vertical space above you so that you can jump in a straight line. And if somebody goes above
Looks like
you,
Teague is going to have the disc.
you can call a foul. And looks like it was upheld by the observers or upheld by Calvin. Really great D there by Blake. On the second attempt to crowd pipe down.
It looks like the foul was
Anguish from the
uncontested. It
foul.
looked like it was pretty clearly in Tanner's hands.
Yeah, I think that
Whoa, nice lefty over the
Ooh.
top from Surya to Echo. And that is a Northwest hold to take half.
That was some really great spirit by the Roosevelt player, and a good plays on both ends. We're gonna leave real quick for half, but we'll be back. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to the Disc Northwest 2025 BX State Semifinals number 2. This matchup is Northwest School in white versus Roosevelt in dark. Score is currently 8-7 Northwest. Feels good to be back, doesn't it?
It sure does. The game is currently on serve. We have Northwest up 8-7, pulling to Roosevelt, who is currently going downwind. It's been a pretty windy game so far. The wind has had a really big impact. Both the teams have been playing field position, as you can see.
Wow.
Jack putting up a massive huck to Calvin.
Oh my God.
Calvin comes down with it on the second attempt.
Oh,
He
Observer.
stopped play.
I think Observer is honoring. I think Wyatt maybe questioned it. I don't think he made an actual call. I think he's just saying it's possible it was down.
But yeah, once you make a call like that, play has to stop so you can have a. Defense has to check it back in and stuff.
That was a really impressive play by Calvin. He had to fully turn around, change direction
Yeah,
and
great.
lay out.
It was great D by Tanner too to get in position and disrupt the first look. Jack now with the disc, motioning for somebody to come give him an option.
Yeah, really good defense here by Northwest.
I really like.
Hammer!
That's definitely out. No.
The line is just not clear enough back there. That is out, though.
I want to shout out Surya for poaching off of who. Okay, I want to shout out Surya for poaching off of the person he was guarding and providing being a second help defender to shut down that reset defense, which forced Jack to look away towards the back of the stack. I know we're shouting out Surya a lot here, but
Oh my God,
he's having a great game.
The pylon throw is probably the toughest thing you can do in a stream game.
I agree.
I agree. Okay, Surya with the disc. Big backhand, Calvin versus Tanner. Good
Tanner
read there
comes
by
down with
Tanner.
it. Sends it to Wyatt.
Oh, just a little bit short.
Jack picking up, pointing.
He has plans, but he holsters.
Back with Jack. Does a great job getting that extra step in. I actually
Solomon
don't think that
under.
was trouble, but
Fade away forehand. Surya versus Marcus. Incredible job there boxing out by Surya. Really put his body in front of Marcus. Don't worry, guys. Bridge is back for the second half. You want to say hi?
Hi. I just want to talk about how Riot lost 10-1 in 2003, and that just goes to show how you can come back from any score.
How do you know that stat? Okay, apparently none of that was right, so he doesn't know that. But he is saying you can come back from anything, and that is a beautiful statement.
it is a beautiful statement. However, we have a really close game right now. The score is 8-7.
Yeah, that doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about. I think you just wanted to talk about Riot.
Unfortunate.
They told me to say that.
Who's they? The people? The world?
All right, we have Calvin picking up on the end zone. A lot of back and forth on this point already. Wow. It's just that easy, though. It is just that easy.
Just that easy. Whoa.
It's a Roosevelt score, 8-8. Wow, those cowbells went crazy after that one. I'm a stickler for a clean end zone. I think that's one of the first times this game we've seen them set up, invert, and cut one ISO from the front, and it worked out perfectly. You can make it as easy as you need to.
Yeah, I think Bridge was talking about this during the last half, but I think getting an upwind break is super hard. And if one of these teams can punch in an upwind break and then convert on the downwind break after, I think they're going to have a really good shot at taking the win. Roosevelt, since they started the game on defense, has to do that in order to have any chance of winning. I mean, at the very least, they have to score an upwind break and not get broken again. But all Northwest has to do is not get broken for the rest. Not get broken for the rest of the game, which is.
Yeah, I would like to agree with that, but I think Roosevelt in particular has really good talent, especially for throwing. All of their handlers are very good, and I don't really see that out of Northwest. But I will say the reason Northwest is able to keep up with them is because their gameplay is just definitively better. I think the Hucks are getting rid of the short turns and forcing Roosevelt to work it up the field, and I don't think Roosevelt has really proved that they can do that.
I agree.
Yeah, I think like all of the things that the Northwest school coaches told us at the beginning of the game that they were going to do, their players did. I think there's a really special relationship between the Northwest players and the coaches, and they do exactly what they tell them to do, and it works.
I mean, like, all they're doing is chucking it, and
Playing super tight D.
and it's working. And I think even though, like Bridge is saying, I think Roosevelt's throwing talent from their handlers is super impressive. I think Northwest has really stuck to their gameplay, their game plan.
Ooh,
There's going to be a call. Really?
no call, no call.
Never mind.
I think there was contact, but I don't think it affected the catch.
Northwest converts for the hold. Again, doing exactly what they wanted to do.
Brendan
No short-
finds Lucas in the corner. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. No short field throws and forcing short field throws. That's all they've been doing, and it's been working.
Yeah, well, a lot of their points have been not really clean. I would say they have a bunch of turns every single time. Their O lines. I think it's still just going Northwest's way in the sense that they can have as many turns as long as they know Roosevelt's not going to work it up the field. And I see that game plan's really much working. I don't think there's been a single upwind break has there.
Northwest broke upwind, and Roosevelt was able to get the upwind hold and break downwind.
Okay.
The middle of the first half.
Yeah, Roosevelt has not proved that they've been able to break upwind.
Yeah. Both teams have gotten pretty close multiple times, but I think Roosevelt in the beginning of the game, their upwind deep looks actually looked really good, and I think maybe their throwers are a bit more tired, or they've been looking off those looks a bit more, but they've definitely been forced into some less advantageous turns.
Yeah, I really liked in the beginning of the game when both teams were kind of just hucking it back and forth. It was definitely messy, and it was not the cleanest Frisbee I've ever seen, but it was effective for both of the teams. I keep saying this, but you kind of have to just do the field position game when it's windy. And I think that they started that way and for some reason shied away from it, and I'm not sure why.
Especially Roosevelt.
Yes, especially Roosevelt, yes. About in the middle of the field for the pull. Calvin picking up. Jack Lawson. Nice grab by Marcus.
You can hear the Northwest coaches on the sideline yelling at their players to hold their hands high. Since Roosevelt's going downwind, they need to release the disc high so that the wind doesn't push the disc into the ground. So on the mark, you really want to force them to try to throw it with a lower release.
Oh.
Come on.
Oh.
Whoa.
Is he actually-
He's not trying to say that he caught it, right? Right? Yeah. Okay. Looks like there's going to be a conversation with the observer about whether that was up or down.
All right, that's down.
Okay.
Hey, that was a good effort, though, by the Roosevelt player. And a nice huck. I really like that look. Surya picking up. Oh, I almost forgot. I'd like to shout out Jude David Small. I hope you're having fun in Eugene, Oregon. Probably the greatest Frisbee player of all time. Doesn't get much better than that.
I think I would have to agree. He just made Ego, or the roster just dropped. Pretty fire. Shout out.
Ego doesn't know what they're in for. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, coming out into Ego, a bunch of Roosevelt players that graduated last year, like
Lucas and
Turzik
Manny.
and Manny.
Again, Northwest getting so close to converting that upwind break, but just like a step away. Solomon looking deep
Huge
to
backhand.
Jack.
Oh, a little bit of a trip.
Oh. Looks
Wow.
like there might be a...
I think he's
just
apologizing to his teammate. That was a really beautiful throw. Yeah, I do think that if Jack had caught it, I think it would have been totally acceptable for that Northwest player to call a foul. If you get tripped up when you're trying to make a play on the disc, that does count as a foul.
Yeah. Theo picking up. Looking deep. I don't know if this is going to
That's
stay
not
in.
gonna stay in.
Lands on the purple track.
Calvin picking up. Throws and goes.
Good holster. I think Calvin was out of bounds when he was making that cut.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus around to Calvin. Calvin looking to reset to Jack.
Good handler
Finds
defense there by
Marcus.
Lucas.
Marcus
Wow.
into the end zone for the Roosevelt score. It's 9-9. It's a close game.
That's a score for number 23, Grayson Johnston.
Yeah, I really like this matchup from Calvin and Tanner. I think it's really interesting. I think Calvin kind of has a bit of more of an edge in close field, so like handler cuts and stuff like that. But I've just been seeing Tanner just streaking deep and Calvin not being able to do much about it. So I think it's kind of a double-edged sword to put those two players on each other.
You like
Yeah.
to talk about double-edged swords.
It's a really good metaphor. No, it is interesting on teams like this. You're putting one of your best players against another one of your.
The camera catches that.
We got that. Anyways,
Northwest water bottle burst.
Those small margins are really just going to set these two teams apart. Just like when it goes down all the way down to the water bottles.
it really does come down to the Gatorade water
I did
bottles.
not think that's what you're talking
No, me
about.
either. I gotta finish my sentence though. I felt like I had something smart going on.
Yeah, I got,
Okay.
you got
I'm back.
There's a timeout.
Yeah, it's interesting to see like the Calvin and Tanner matchup because you're putting one of the best players from one team on one of the best players from the other team, but putting players that don't play the same role at all on each other is interesting because their superpowers both something that the other person doesn't have a lot of experience in, and so just because they are the star players of their team does not mean they're like exactly the right matchup for each other, but I think both of them are playing very well and playing super hard D.
Yeah, I also think it's a bit of a gamble because I think if one of them does have more legs and their ability to just like run down the other player could be really good for their team. So like if Tanner eventually just has more legs and can run down Calvin, I think that would be great for Northwest. So I think it's definitely a gamble for the Roosevelt and Northwest coaches to continue to do that.
Very true, very true. And yeah, this is a timeout call. Should be 90 seconds. Roosevelt's looking tired. All right, we got about 30 minutes left in the game, 9-9. Is that the first time out of the game? Think so. It's not
First one that we've noticed.
not that interesting of a fact. I don't really need an answer. All right, Calvin pulling again.
I feel like Calvin and Jack have played almost every point, if not like every point.
Feel like I have said their name every point, so yeah.
I think playtime can be really difficult in a semis game when you know that you have finals the next day because on the one hand, sometimes you need certain players to play every point in order to win, but also you need them to be able to play every point tomorrow.
That's a beautiful throw by Brendan. It just drops a little bit quickly. Tanner's not able to get there.
I've really been liking these deep looks from Brendan.
Yeah.
I feel like they've been really helpful to the Northwest.
Yeah, Roosevelt really wants to take advantage of the situation because from what you saw, after they called the timeout, they just got their best players and they made them rest. They're really looking to stack this line and get a break here and change the momentum of the game.
Yeah, they need this. Solomon to Jack. Big backhand looking for Blake. Ooh. Great read.
Great read. Tanner just going up maybe a little too early, and that's a Roosevelt break. They take the lead for the first time this game, I think.
Mhm.
I don't think they've been up so far.
Yeah, that could very much sway the way of the game.
If you're Northwest, you really got to keep your head up right now because you have to get this upwind hold. You don't want Roosevelt getting this downwind break on you.
Yeah. Yeah. I really appreciate the energy from Brendan.
Brendan hyping the team up.
It's very necessary. Very necessary.
Very necessary.
Now that I see it, Roosevelt does, which I think is going to play a bigger role now that we're so late into the game. They're just going to have more legs, and I think that's going to be a really big part of this game.
Agree. The Northwest logo is really tough. House.
Dude,
House.
mascot is a house.
I think
House.
that's cool. I think that's unique.
The houses versus the Rough Riders.
The houses? It's not plural.
The house.
It's one house.
The
Nor.
heist.
The heist. The hoose.
The heist.
Speaking of hoose. Hussein Carnegie.
The houses. Yeah, why is it not the houses? Why do you think that's so wrong? That sounds right.
The
to me.
houses?
The houses. Plural.
It's house.
The house. It's the
Yes,
house.
the house.
I think it's the heist.
Because they
plural.
all are one big family and they live in the house together.
Oh, wait, that's so
Aw.
cute.
And they have bunk
Wait,
beds.
Actually, we haven't talked about that yet. I don't think
Huh.
we've interviewed all 4 of our semifinalists' coaches, and when we asked them about their season-long goal, I think every team except for Northwest said pretty much some iteration of playing our best in the at states, like becoming the best version of ourselves, or in Roosevelt's words, just winning, which is very valid. But I really liked that Northwest season-long goal was to really appreciate the time that they have together. They have 10 seniors, and I think that the best teams don't just play for like an outcome that they all collectively want, but they play for each other and like wanting to make each other proud and being proud to like be each other's teammates. I think that really creates the best teams.
Yeah. I don't know if you said exactly this, but Stan's exact words was appreciate and value the time they have left together, which was kind of ominous, but also very sweet.
Yeah.
It's all about love and support.
Also, they said they want to support and love their team.
I just said that, but thank you.
Thank you, Bridge.
It's always good to have an echo.
Northwest is really benefited.
That is so smart. Y'all get that one? All right. Surya. Okay, have Tanner going deep. He doesn't shoot it. Teague.
Oh,
Good save, good save.
bobbled, but collected.
Wow, Calvin's putting a huge mark on. It's kind of stressing him out. Ooh, that goes.
Teague looks deep, and it trails out of bounds. Roosevelt with an opportunity to get this downwind break and go up by 2.
Calvin shooting. Too much angle on that. Brendan going to pick up. You can hear Hussein Carnegie yelling shallow, 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 trying to get that sack to set up more under. Looking deep. Really great read again by Tanner. Surya. Just a little bit lower than he wanted. Jack gets in there. The
Oh.
same forehand again. It's sailing a bit more, but still.
To that same corner. I like these looks from Calvin, though. I think you're making Northwest work really hard to get this hold and forcing them to try and work it all the way down the field and hoping that you'll eventually get that short field turn.
Way to break the mark. Rory with the disc. Oh, that inside. That was nasty. Shooting.
Is that
Popped
foot blocked?
up. Good try by Surya. I like in the wind, any angle you put on it is going to be
Yeah.
intensified like tenfold, and it's going to be so much more dramatic than the way you think it is. So if you want to throw an outside in backhand, you can't release it as outside in as you regularly would. Think about that.
Facts.
Facts.
Facts for real.
Calvin. Solomon under. It's good to see him back in after the injury.
Solomon
deep.
looking deep to Calvin.
Ooh.
But Teague intercepts.
Yeah, it goes to show what they want to do. Calvin was literally just standing there asking for the jump ball, knowing that they just want to huck it, only huck it.
Brendan looks
another
deep. That
huck.
was totally a foot block.
Ooh. I think he could call that, but he doesn't. Interesting.
Most unwatchable safety.
And it's that same forehand, outside in. Oh, I don't know about that one.
Pretty hard to see from up here. Looks like they're going to have a conversation. Is that uncontested? Is that what he was signaling? Foul
That's
accepted.
Accepted.
So Jack's going to get the disc at the front of the end zone.
Noticing how much Roosevelt wants to huck here and Northwest, I would say both of the team. Well, if I was the coaches, I would have my players go flat up to just contest these hucks as much as I can and try to get a turn from the handlers.
All right, that was the call was accepted. Jack on the end zone line.
Oh,
Whoa!
great cut from Calvin.
Wow. There's a call. There's a call.
There's
a call. Teague is calling something. I do want to say, I also, if I was a Northwest coach, I would tell my player, whoever was marking Calvin, to watch his feet. He's getting away with it, which is fine. But his forehand huck, he leans back every time, and it's a travel. What I'm trying to say is he travels every time on his forehand huck. Which, if they're not calling it,
it's a Roosevelt thing.
Ooh.
Real ones know.
IYK.
IYK.
I am not quite sure. I think that there must have been contact on Calvin's cut. Maybe his foot got stepped on. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what he's arguing is that Solomon, the offensive player, initiated contact, which caused him to fall over, and not that the defense initiated contact.
And I think the observers ruled it as a contest. I don't think they had a very clear perspective. There are a ton of people on both sides of them.
I assume that they're going to ISO Calvin off the front again, and Teague is prepared to play super tight defense. Surya's poaching off.
Coming in stall 5, I think is what, or the observer's telling them to wait. It's one of the two.
Surya has left a player completely unguarded on the left side, like the very back of the end zone. But somebody has left a player. I don't think that's a problem, though, because there's such an insane crosswind that I think that entirely
I wouldn't be
crossfield
surprised to see
forehand.
the hammer, though.
Okay, but that was good. Okay, but that was great.
Roosevelt gets the downwind break, and now they are up by 2. It's 11-9 Roosevelt.
Yeah, I think Northwest has got to respect that. They chose to have that poach. They left Solomon completely unguarded. If you're going to poach, you have to be a little bit more vigilant.
Looks like Roosevelt's resting more of their starters on this point. I think they just got these 2 breaks in a row. Even if Northwest gets this hold, I think they still feel pretty good about where they are given the time. I kind of doubt that we'll make it to 15. We have a little less than 20 minutes left in the game.
I want to shout out Blake on Roosevelt's fun fact. I enjoy painting.
That's awesome.
I think that's sweet. And I'd love to see some of his artwork. Nice pull there for Roosevelt. Good yards on that. Surya picking up.
Disc Northwest Youth Art Showcase.
Yes.
Oh my God!
Oh. This kid not in the jersey, it's a little bit confusing for us.
Tanner comes through with a huge block.
Wow, that was pretty tough. I'm not gonna
Quickly
lie.
picks up. He's ready. He's ready to end the point.
He deserves a backflip after that.
If
Might
he
have been a
doesn't
double team. I don't know.
if he doesn't do a backflip, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. Something bad probably. Yeah, that was a great D right on the end zone line, but there's a lot. Oh, right to the front cone. It can't be denied. Spikes it on the pylon. Yeah, that was tough.
Jinx.
Spirit foul.
What? Whoa.
Oh, he's calling a push off. I think that there was a hole between the two Roosevelt players that Surya just went through, and I don't know that he actually touched that kid. But
Could have been a pick, though,
I'm gonna need
couldn't it?
instant replay. But we don't have instant replay.
When are we getting instant replay?
I will buy it. I will buy instant
Yeah,
replay. For,
me too. I
for
bet.
Disney Plus.
Yeah, I got you guys.
I can finance that.
I can get like some if y'all want it.
Okay, the disc is warped, but that's okay. It's going back to Tanner. I'd love to see. Okay, so nice they had to do it twice. That is a Northwest score. I really like that inside. I think that Roosevelt was looking so hard at Surya and looking so hard at the thrower that they didn't realize that there are people like hiding just beyond the mark, and there's holes that they weren't seeing. So that was a really great job finding that for Tanner. It's now 10-11. It's getting heated.
It's getting heated. It's getting heated. I feel like we've had some longer conversations
It's a good way to put it.
on that point alone. I don't know what I can't really tell what the vibe is of the conversations, but they're definitely long. that I know. I gotta say, the tempo of this rider's parent cheer feeling a little off right now.
It's okay. They'll get it together. Wish you guys could hear it.
Yeah, I think they need
Do they
like
have boom?
you know how
boomstick,
like
though?
fan sections have the like drummer who keeps the beat. I feel like Roosevelt would they would appreciate that. I feel like that's something that they would invest in.
Yeah, maybe they could get some help from Isaac Plummer, who is a bona fide saxophone player.
Bona fide. Wow.
What else do we know about them?
I bet that his saxophone sounds great.
Ski
Did you
a
guys
lot
know
during
that
winter?
Grayson Johnston ski a lot during winter? I like the grammar.
Who plays cello? He can help with the fan section.
The Roosevelt fan section band. Ospen Marwick, of course.
That's fire. I love all these musicians.
If
These
only
artists.
if
These
only-
Roosevelt artists converted to Frisbee players.
Yes, Northwest needs the break. They want the break. They're hungry. Pretty good roll on that. Calvin's going to pick it up on the sideline. Jack to Calvin. Cutter's insanely deep once again.
I really like Teague flashing that throwing lane. He knows that Calvin wants to put
Mhm.
it deep, and he stayed for a second to make that throw look really unappealing.
Losing some yards. Up to Calvin. Woo. Big undercut. Looked off. I think that Roosevelt, in setting up so deep, they're trying to get these undercuts to have big, like huge yardage, but that hasn't been the outcome for most of this. Putting it deep, looking for Solomon.
I think I noticed that I think Northwest switched up some of their matchups and maybe
Yes.
not putting Surya and Tanner on Roosevelt's star players, but rather putting them on people who are in the cutter set so that they can get involved when they know that deep throw goes up. And so on a turn, they're maybe a bit more comfortable with their matchups.
Yeah, if they really want this break, they have to have the legs to fight.
But I'm pretty sure Roosevelt switched so that they would have different people
Yeah,
guarding.
You can definitely see that with Surya just being super poachy in the deep space.
Northwest turn. Marcus to pick, Calvin to pick up. Off the line. The backhand force is interesting. It's a little too high, but Solomon is there. Into the end zone for Blake. 12-10 Roosevelt.
Surya came off to try to poach off and get a block on that, and it just unfortunately popped up and went right past him. I really liked the idea. I thought it was going to work. We're going to go through some more fun facts, if any of them are fun enough.
Okay, so
Wait, what is
hold on. So Henry Sebastian's fun fact is I can solve a Rubik's Cube. But if you scroll up a little bit, you can see that Sam Sterling's fun fact is I can solve Rubin's Cube. And I'm wondering if that's like a different thing, a Rubin's Cube and a Rubik's Cube.
I feel like it's the same. I think it's the same.
And yeah, is Rubin's Cube I can solve Rubin's Cube. We'll come back to this later.
We'll come back to this later. I want to wait. What is this one?
Wow. Oscar Edibles. Oh, he's out of town, I heard.
But he met Kanye West in 3rd grade, which is
Wonder what the situation for that was.
yeah, I want to know why. But it's definitely a story.
This is a really big opportunity for Roosevelt. As you can see, I don't believe Surya is on, and that's really just been their main guy this entire time. And I think if they can really if Roosevelt can take advantage of a turn here, they can definitely get a break and basically close up this game as there's only 12 minutes left.
Yeah, unfortunately we don't have a mic for Bridge. Hopefully y'all caught that because that was quite
Insightful.
insightful. Yeah, it seemed like Surya was limping a little bit off the last point. I think he's just a little bit ran thin.
Both
if
these
that makes
lines
sense.
looking a bit
Whoa, where's he going?
like
Oh,
a
I
lot
see.
of new faces. Not Brendan though. Brendan's been playing great the whole game.
Hammer. Yes.
That is not the look that I think I would have gone for.
Yeah, I think he could have thrown a different huck and it would have been more successful, but
sometimes you gotta show off.
it's true. Teague is close.
It's
Nice
a
D
great
there.
poach D.
Is that number 10? Let's check. I think that's Theo Olsen, the D. Brendan to Teague. Ooh.
It's just a little too far. But
Yeah.
that Northwest D looked really good on that last possession.
Yeah.
I think this Roosevelt line might be a little bit less comfortable shooting it deep than in the past
Mm-hmm.
than other lines have. So we'll see. Maybe they will stretch the field though.
Oh my God. Is he all right? Kind of buckled. Don't stall him.
Might have been a foul after the play, just on the
Yeah.
contact after.
I think he's taking an injury. Yeah. Hope he's all right. It's a good catch under pressure. Northwest won't be taking a sub. Picking up. Yeah, I really appreciate the poach here from number 10. I think it's impacting the field a lot. He should reel now, though. There we go. It's a little bit high. Come down with it.
And Roosevelt looks deep. Tanner's there, ready to collect.
Whee.
Didn't get a hand on it, but
Good pressure.
he picked up.
Outside in forehand. It's a little short. Nice grab by Teague. And a petite spike, making it 12-11.
He got a really great read on that.
Yeah.
I think it would have been hard for him to know exactly where it was going, but he gave himself the space so that even if the disc fell in kind of a weird way, he had room to
Yeah.
go and attack it.
Like we've been saying, Northwest needs this break. There's about 10 minutes, little less than 10 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, this break is almost crucial for Northwest. I don't know if they would have a possibility of winning without it.
I think if the next 2 points happen quickly enough,
Yeah.
maybe, but
These are long
yeah,
points.
these are long points.
There hasn't been a clean hold in this game or the last game.
Is that true?
I'm pretty sure.
I believe you.
I don't know. Lincoln's personnel is very good.
Yeah, I don't think there was a clean hold in the last game. I think this game has been what? There was
There's
one.
one in Lincoln game.
Who was it?
One in this game.
Was it Roosevelt? Was it Northwest?
Oh, I remember that.
Ooh, true.
Okay.
There have been
I'm
clean
sorry
holds.
for lying.
We've been lying. Mira actually lied.
It's usually me. It's usually my fault. But my point is still valid. These are all long points.
This Roosevelt parent section known for being loud, known for being energetic, which is great. We love it when people come out and support these teams.
I've never had a fan section that big. Maybe one day. All right, Calvin to pick up. Deep shot. Big backhand, looking for Blake. Teague is in the area. A little too far. And also some good pressure there by Teague, I think.
Brendan picking up. No,
This
you
could
got
be
you
really
go, you go.
important for Northwest, as Northwest, if you can see, does have a kill line and does really want this point.
It's making me nervous. Ooh, it's just a little bit short. Blake gets in there.
They didn't have Surya in the handler set though, which surprised me.
I think they might have had a
Had
plan.
a play. They had
Yeah.
a plan.
didn't
Probably.
get a chance to execute it.
Great D from Brendan.
Yeah, really good footwork. It's too high. Great
D by
read.
Teague. Now we got Surya picking up.
Fascinating. I think he knows what's gonna happen. Wyatt utilizes that poach, goes under. Nice, hits Surrey off the line.
Surya swings it.
Lucas looking for Tanner. It's a bit too far. Whoa, slide. This is good field positioning for them to have, though.
I think if Northwest can force the short field turn, which I don't think Calvin's gonna want to let them do. Yeah.
Surya is limping. I think he may have had a cramp or something on the last point he was in on and hasn't fully recovered, but yeah.
Oh God,
Ooh, brother.
that looks.
Could be very bad. Could be like a flu season game. I'm just saying.
He has to take an injury, yeah.
Ugh.
Michael Jordan.
Oh, Michael Jordan flu season game.
What are we talking about?
He's saying that. Do you want to explain?
The way that Surrey is playing is you kind of see the same thing out of Michael Jordan when he had the flu and he played. You can see, you can see like, I don't know, like.
There's definitely some similarities in the resilience. You know, Surrey is often compared to Michael Jordan, especially in this situation.
What are we doing?
Surrey's playing through the injury just like Michael Jordan. Okay. Anyways,
Wyatt has
with
the disc. We're playing frisbee.
wish we were playing basketball. Ooh, good
Tanner
save.
with the great. Teague collects.
Multiple people going deep. Fakes the
Shoots
forehand. Whoa, the wind is taking it. Whoa, whoa.
I don't think that's staying in.
Oh God,
Definitely could have been that.
that was a crazy effort.
That was a nice attempt by number 12, Duncan. I know that. I got to get that in my head. Okay. I think Northwest has got to make Calvin throw anything else.
It's really hard. I've seen them put a bunch of different types of marks on him, and he's just gonna. Oh,
That's what they need. That's what they need. A short field opportunity.
The
so they can
crowd's
just work
energy
it.
is stirring, and it's making me feel crazy. Oh, it's a little too high. Blake is in there. He's got a lot of defensive stats this game.
And Calvin
Don't
boosts
do it.
it.
Ah. He's looking for Brandon.
It's not the
Grayson,
most fun frisbee to watch, but it definitely is the right choice. If you're Roosevelt, you don't want to give Northwest any strong look at getting that up on break back.
Yeah, I think what Northwest has been doing is that they send two people deep to cover no matter what, because they know Calvin's going to throw it, and they're usually pretty nice throws, so just having 2 people back there just in case.
The clock is also ticking. This point has
Yeah.
been really long.
Yeah.
And this is a break. This point is a break opportunity for Northwest.
Stall got high. Got a little flustered. Defense is having trouble catching up. Solomon with the disc. Calvin to Jack. And Solomon again. Sneaks it to Jack in the end zone. It's 13-11.
We've got 3 minutes left on the clock. Does that mean the next point is the last one? Or not? Depends on how quickly it goes.
You can see the hustle. Northwest trying to get out there. Take advantage
It
of
looks
their
like Surrey is talking to his coach about whether he's going to go back on. I don't think he is.
He wanted to.
It's really hard when you feel like you have a lot of responsibility for a team.
Timeout call
to
by
not be able to
Roosevelt.
play. What are you saying? Oh, nah.
Bridge wanted us to talk about him. We're not going to.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy. Timeout called.
Yeah.
Did we talk about that in this game or the last game? Is the running out the clock method?
I don't remember, but we can't talk about it because normally there's 90 seconds between points. If you call a timeout, that means there's 3 minutes between points. So if Roosevelt hadn't called a timeout, Northwest should have had about a minute and a half to score in order to have a chance to force uni. But since Roosevelt called that timeout, the clock is probably going to run out before Northwest really gets a look at it. No, that's what we thought, but I'm pretty sure it's hard cap, no?
Yeah.
Or it might, not sure. We're gonna find out. Me and Mira are not as knowledgeable about the time cap as we thought we were last game.
If Northwest scores quickly enough, they have a chance as well.
Yes.
Basically all you need to know. Because So actually, yeah. I know they are waiting a while on the line too to pull. It's not cheating. It's
The
definitely not cheating.
observer is telling them that they need to pull now. You can see with the observer who's been gesturing towards the line, that means that their time is up.
Score in 30 seconds. Go deep and throw it. Yes, Brendan. Oh my God, is it gonna work? Oh.
Is that another D for
Blake?
for Blake?
It is.
Blake is really racking up those stats.
Calvin with the disc. Oh, a
An
drop.
unfortunate drop. Rory picking up. Is that his name?
Yes. Beautiful
Looking
inside throw.
Oh.
It's a drop in the end zone. That was a good effort.
Lucas not able to hang on to that. And looks like Marcus is going to go pick up for Roosevelt.
All right, Marcus with the disc. To Calvin. Good D by
Great
Brendan.
poach D.
Just a lot of communication errors right now, popping off the hands of a lot of Northwest players. Big mark by Rory. Too far. Oh, it could have been Callahan.
Near Callahan.
Super close. Theo Olsen picking up. Not really semblance of a stack.
Nice
To
find
Tanner
to
in
Tanner.
the end zone.
That is a Northwest score.
And
I
then
think
that
it's
is game. That's a pretty anticlimactic way to end the game, but a super tight and super hard-fought game by both of them. Congratulations for both of these teams for making it here. I always say this at the end of streams, but both teams are so deserving of this spot and a really good game. Way to pull it out there by Roosevelt. Tune in tomorrow for the Dis Northwest Boys State Finals. That's going to be Lincoln versus Roosevelt. And thank to you all for tuning in. Once again, great game to both of these teams. We'll see you later. You want to say bye, Bridge?
Bye. We'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Bye.